Hey everybody, West Coast Johnny, how's it going? Today is Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas to everyone out there. And guess what time it is? Fiberglass time. Here's what we're working on. So a friend of mine has a 1960 house. As a matter of fact, it's the house we built the big deck on. There's 3 videos about it. And this is a vintage 1960 yard light cover, like for a little yard light. And this is how they used to make them in the old days. They were really cool. Well, unfortunately, a tree branch fell and hit it, and the bolts that hold it from underneath broke through. And see what happened? It just kind of got all busted up. So we're going to fix this, and we're going to make it look like brand new. And we're going to make the fiberglass repairs the exact same shade of green, so when you put this on and turn the light on, you won't say, oh, what happened? It'll just look really nice. And first thing we're going to do, though, we got to clean this. It has 60 years of dirt and dust on it. We're going to clean it all down and see where we're at. So stick around. Okay, so at nighttime, see the color? It's like it's almost like a Kelly green, but it's like even lighter than that. So we're gonna make it look just like this when we're finished. What we're cleaning the fiberglass with, the coarsest thing I have is this brush that's fairly stiff, and I'm going to use just a sponge with a little Brillo pad. And then I found these really cool, they're like for doing dishes, and it was at IKEA. You get a whole pack for $1. But we're going to try different things, and what's in here is, this is just water with a little bit of liquid laundry detergent. So we're going to clean this, and we're going to see. But here's what I wanted to tell you. Don't ever think that you need to clean something like this with, say, a wire wheel or something, or a wire brush. You're going to scratch, you're going to hurt the fiberglass. And first of all, it's only a 1/16 of an inch thick, but it's really strong. It isn't going anywhere unless maybe another tree falls on it, but it's already over 60 years old. So this stuff is really amazing. Okay, well, I got it about as clean as I can, and unfortunately, it still has like a haze on it. So it must just be the original gel coat that faded in the sun over time. So there's really nothing I can do. If I make it look this color on top, it's not going to light up this bright green unless I put the bright green here, but then it'll look like it's been repaired. So the first thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get some 220, sand this whole thing down, and just keep trying to get it one solid color. And when you put the sandpaper on these orbital sanders, see those holes? They're supposed to line up. You can't just go like this, ready to go, and it's all solid, because air blows through and it gets the sawdust off of your project and out of the way. So that's why there's air holes there. So you want to line them up. Just line them up. Okay, so now that this is getting almost the same color, we're going to go ahead and start mixing up our alcohol colors. This is pigment for resin. I have different shades of green, and we're going to experiment with the resin till we get the exact same shade. Then we're going to start our repair. The other thing we're going to do, sure, it would be easy to just cut a piece of fiberglass and cover this a few times, but we don't want to. We want to make it look as nice as we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut little pieces that match these holes, several pieces, so we can do several layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some on the back here, a bigger piece like this. I'm going to use some of this chop strand matting, and we're going to cover these holes up like this, okay? Then now we have our backing, see? So now anything we want to do inside here, that's where we're going to start building up with new pieces. And just till we get to the top. So once we get this in, we're going to start mixing the color. But that's what you want to do. See that? You want it? Okay. So we're not going to put any coloring in this first layer because it's just going to be the backing. Some MEKP. You want to mix this very uniformly. We're not going to use any special rollers today. We're just using a brush. We don't even need a roller for this project. Now it's turning green. See that? It goes in blue. You mix the hardener, it starts to turn green. So now we're going to go ahead and apply some on our backing. Okay. You want to saturate the substrate first. The substrate is anything you're doing. It's whether you're putting fiberglass on plywood, balsa wood, over other fiberglass, whatever you're putting it on, that's known as the substrate. And you always want to saturate the substrate first with resin because you don't want what's called a dry bond. And that's where the very first layer never gets enough fiberglass resin in it. And what's sad about that is anything above it, whether it be more layers of fiberglass and then your nice paint job, gel coat, it's all going to come loose if the very first layer isn't really securing everything together. Okay. Once the fiberglass gets saturated for a few minutes, the strands actually get even softer and you can actually push them down even if there's a fold. So it's going to look really nice. Okay, this is nice and dry and it looks really good. It worked. What we wanted it to do, it did. Okay, so now we have this backing and it's all nice and hard. So now we're going to put our pieces in here. So like I said, I'm going to go 3 to 4 pieces in each hole, and I already cut all the pieces out. The way I did it, I got the biggest one and I decided to go clockwise. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes, and this hole is this one, then the smaller one, then this one that looks kind of like Mickey Mouse, some more little round ones, and then this little piece right here. So they're already cut out in stacks, because the last thing you want to do, like I said many times, is mix up a bunch of resin and then start cutting fiberglass. It's like you want to be ready to go because you only have a couple minutes of work time. Remember, we want to saturate the substrate first. This little piece is going to fit just like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and saturate that, put our second piece on. Okay. Move on to the next one. These little round, I cut a bunch of little circles. Saturate, second piece. Last piece. 4 is going to be too much. Okay, now it's okay that it's just a hair up because we're going to sand this. We're going to sand all this really nice. Okay, we sanded it all smooth, all the repairs. You can't even feel where they were. It's like smooth like glass. But unfortunately, even though I had the resin the same color, when I brushed it on because it was so thin, it actually didn't do much at all. See that light? So what we're going to do now is we're just going to color these pieces and then sand them some more. And I don't want to practice on here because I don't want to mess it up. So I have some pieces of fiberglass that I laminated and cut, and there's some scraps that I've been saving. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to match this green. We're going to brush it on here with a little bit of resin and see if we can get that color. I painted this fiberglass. I decided to try something different. So I have some pigment it's called permanent acrylic, and this is what it's going to look like from the back. So I just wanted to see if that lets the green through, and it does. So I think that's going to change some of the plans here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a layer of this acrylic over all of this. Okay, now the last step I'm going to do, now that the paint has dried, is I'm doing a very, very, very light sanding with this little block. It's like 300 grit. And the reason I'm doing it very softly is because I want it to hide any brush marks, and I also want it to look a little bit older. I don't want it to look like brand new paint because, you know, it's already 60 years old. And we just want it to fit in the yard better and not look like it's brand new or anything. All right, I'm pretty much finished. I did a light sand with my 300 grit block. I did some cross hatching because I didn't want any brush strokes to show. And then I didn't want it to be shiny, and I didn't want it to be really dull. So what I did was I put some carnauba wax on it to protect it. And now I'm just kind of rubbing it in and rubbing it kind of off. So it does give it like some kind of a shine, but not too much. And this is exactly what it used to look like originally. And there it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you soon.